Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be around the world. This is your host, Lamin Jammeh, the profile show with Lamin and Kaddy. Episode 2 has just returned to you today, Wednesday, 21st of May, 2025. A little bit of surprise for you because we've now obviously changed the format of this show. We had episode 1 with Omar Saho, an ecologist and an environmental activist based in the United States. Today we have a bit of a twist for you. This show is now going to be co-hosted by HR specialist Kaddy Jammeh, who I will introduce to you momentarily to say hello to you and also welcome our guest. I wouldn't say who the guest is myself, but then I will invite Bakari to actually come and say hello and introduce our guest. Bakari, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, my co-host Lamin. Thank you so much. Good evening and welcome wherever you are tuning in today from. We would like to know where our audience are tuning in from. So please do put in the comments where you are joining us from this evening or morning, whatever time of the day it is for you. So as Lamin has said, this evening we are very, very much delighted to be joined by someone many of you know for her leadership and dedication. But we want to dig a little bit deeper, not just about her work life. We wanted to know other stuff about her as well. What is the individual behind the profile? So our guest tonight is Mrs. Fatou Touray-Cham. She's a powerhouse, a devoted wife, a mother, and a woman of substance who rose from humble beginnings to become a beacon of empowerment for women across the Gambia. But before we dive in, Fatou Touray-Cham graced our platform before for International Women's Day, 2023, Lamin, if you remember. We had an amazing panel discussion. She brought with her a beneficiary, Yarohi, on that show. That was an amazing show. So before we go deeper, we just wanted to do a bit of throwback, a clip from that panel, just to understand what Boss Women Gambia is, because that's the organization she leads in the Gambia, the organization that's helping women across the Gambia. So, Landon, can we have that throwback, like, just for 3 minutes, and just to remind ourselves and refresh ourselves what the kind of work that she does in the Gambia?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, viewers, we'll play that short video for you, about 2-3 minutes, just to have an idea of where Fatou was 2-3 years ago and where she is now with our organization. Enjoy the video.
We call them anchor women. So these women also, they do their own mobilization in their various communities. So the training is free across the length and breadth of the Gambia. But as at now, we are mainly focused within the West Coast because of limited resources. So we've moved to, we did training in other regions, but with support from other partners like the She Trade, International Trade Center, and some local partners in the country. So we want to work with more partners. Even Jala, you can even adopt a community, and you just give us the funds to go and train. So just like how we are already get to know about the training, so women also they do refer their female groups. But at some point, you know, we blacked out, and I heard you talking about the training content. I think I just want to say that the module is tailor-made, so the trainings are delivered in the local languages. So one of the key criteria we take in hiring is we look at trainers who can speak various different languages. So we look at from Mandinka, Wolof, Jola, Manjago, Sarahule, you know, whichever, because we have different communities with specific languages that they need to understand. Because the biggest challenge, Jalaman has spoken about it, in creating equity, we look at what's actually causing that gap, and we say it's lack of opportunities. So at BOSS, we say wealth, the opposite of wealth is not poverty, but lack of opportunities. And we have seen that manifested in the transformation that these women, the transformation that they went through following the training that they had with BOSS Women Gambia. Yeah, maybe just to give a summary of what our training does, it focuses on cash. We said it's centered on the 5 C's that we operate on, like a 5C model. One is cash, that women improving their financial security. 2 is confidence, women being certain of their abilities. Care, women taking care of their health, nutrition, and hygiene. And that's where Barrow comes in. And I said, I have a challenge. And then we say community, to build a community. That is women using the power of collectiveness. So it's not about only I, but we. And then we also have a climate component, which look at women combating everyday effects of climate change. So these are the various angles and stages that our training focuses on. At the end of the day, we get to see fully confident women who are financially secure, who understand their environment, understand their health, and they know what it means to work with a community. So it's not just about me, or I, or it's about we. So they can make the change that they want, not just in yourself, but within your community. Because every woman, whatever you have, what we have seen is it always goes back to the family. So that's the kind of depth impact that we focus on it much.
Right. Thank you, Lamin, for that throwback video, actually. If you don't mind, can we bring our guests in now, please? So we can have a little bit of conversation around BOSS Women before handing it over back to you, Lamin.
That's right. Fatou, welcome to the Profile Show.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm great.
Lovely. It's a pleasure to have you on the show because growing up in Gunjur, we know, you know, from humble background, to be where you are today. We invite, this show is about inviting people share their story with a view to inspiring, you know, younger generation, especially our female, you know, children. So having you here, it is actually fulfilling for us because we set up this show to actually see how we can actually learn about people, people that we know they've actually gone through stages in life to be where they are and the influence that they have, the impact they're making on people's lives, especially women. And you've been working with women for many years. But before we get into that, could you tell us who is Fatou Touray-Cham?
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Kaddy. Thank you, Lamin. Good evening, viewers from everywhere in the world. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, from where you're watching from. I am Fatou Touray-Cham, the National Director of BOSS Women Gambia, a mother, eldest among 14 siblings. A woman champion working with women, trying to make the change that we all envisage to achieve.
That's great. Thank you very much. I'll hand you over to my co-host, Kaddy, to, you know, get into it, you know, as we actually plow through this program tonight.
Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you, Lamin. Thank you, Fatou. Fatou, so we've just watched a 3 minute video on when you last came, when you were last on the platform. That was like 2 years ago. And one of the things that you did mention on the video was financial impact. That's what you try to create amongst women in the Gambia, especially for the underprivileged ones. So since you last came on the show, it would be good to know if you can just share with us, if you don't mind, um, in terms of like membership and outreach, growth in terms of like percentage, like where are you at now? And like I know one of the action call to action was, more donors. If you can get more donors out there to adopt a community, how has that progressed since you last were on the show?
Thank you very much. It's amazing to be here again. And like we all know, Boss Women Gambia is a non-profit organization changing the lives of women in the Gambia. From the video, you can hear me talk about the locations where we are. Like we are within the West Coast region. And for 2 years after that, we've escalated to another region in the Lower River region through donor support. So we've reached, with outreach, we've now reached 40,000 women.
Wow.
And and all these women are strong women out there making a great impact in the lives of their families and themselves. We've crossed over almost 400 communities, and each of the communities we have, like I said, anchor women. And we've also supported 5 communities with funds to start their own businesses, like we call them in community chest. We are engaged into green businesses that will benefit their communities and also change their lives. So it's been great since. We've created a lot of women community champions, the likes of Yarohi, who was with us the last time.
Yeah.
And we have more of that. And we have plans to see how they can also share their learnings to their communities. And that we call our Boss Business Community Model. And that's what we're working on right now.
Right. Great. Thanks for sharing that with us. It sounds like you have progressed really well since the last time you were here.
Exactly.
And yeah, that's really good to know that you are actually reaching more women as we speak. So in terms of like what's next on the roadmap, I know you did say community model. So is there anything else next on the roadmap for you towards the end of the year, or what's the call to action before we go into the other part of the show?
Like I said earlier, I made a call last year, and like I said, we want to create more women champion. This is because we've seen how women take up their own growth path instead of focusing on how someone else can help support me. We give them ideas, and these ideas they need to explore, and to explore that they will need some support. And we have tens and thousands of Yarohi out there who can stand out there and also be there for their communities, be there for themselves, and make that change happen. Just recently, we concluded last year, we did the Boss Women Africa Hub, wherein we have women across Africa, from the African countries, who came here to see how they can learn, understand, and also implement the Boss program in their various countries. Amongst them is Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Senegal. So they'll also be starting the Boss model. And just a few months back, I was in 2 of these countries, Cote d'Ivoire and Senegal, to see how this can be done.
Right.
So Boss is not only a Boss Gambia, it's becoming a global movement. I mentioned earlier on, we have it in Eastern Europe, in Netherlands, and also in India, where everything started. So Gambia is taking the lead in becoming the champion for the African expansion. And I think that is a pride, because if you reflect 6 years back, it started from a one-woman office where I was doing much of the work in my car, driving around, trying to see how we can connect this with women. And today, having 40,000 women trained directly by Boss Women and now expanding to other African regions, I think is a great step, and it's a great achievement.
It is. Well done. Well done to you and your team. Well done. That is amazing. And that's really, really good news to hear. I also wanted to take this opportunity because I know last year you were awarded the She Award.
Yeah.
And traveled for that. So I wanted to say congratulations on that award. Very well deserved. I know there will be many more awards coming your way because you are doing great in the Gambia. All these lives that you're touching, like all these women that you're helping, you're enabling, empowering, it's amazing. I'm inspired, very, very, and you know that anyway. I don't have to go too deep into that. So I will now hand over to my co-host. I don't know where he is. Lamin, where are you? So I'll hand over to him. I think he's a little bit nervous about this segment of the show. Anyway, let's see.
That's okay. That's okay. No, I'm here. I'm just hiding on the corner, just allowing you two to go on it. Yeah, but fantastic. I mean, I was just listening to what Fatou and Buzzwomen Gambia and Women International are actually doing, changing, life. I watched that clip. In fact, I produced that show a couple of years ago, where the women they narrating how the bus women have actually changed the way they do things, the way their life basically. So that's very, very refreshing. So that's part of that's work. But we wanted to know, Fatou. Yes, we're seeing Fatou as the country director or national director of Bus Women, but that didn't just come out of the blue.
No.
We're going to delve into who is Fatou. What have you gone through? Just push you through your journey to where it all started for you, to where we actually are talking about country director of Bus Women Gambia.
Wow. That's a beautiful one. Fatou is someone whose journey have been a moment of finding answers to a lot of questions. If you know Fatou has been someone who has been in the youth work. There I've connected with many people. And then my first official work was with National Youth Service Scheme, where we are coordinating the training of young people to acquire skills. Then I jumped into the microfinance sector. But all this time, it has generated a lot of questions in my head. And the question has ever been, why can't these young people get the life that they want? Because many of them, we call them dropouts, and which is a language that nobody wants to hear. But then at the end of the day, when you look into the lives of these young people, they all come from women who are hardworking families, parents that are hardworking, but still they cannot make ends meet. And that also become part of my journey also, growing up as a young woman, as a young girl who has been in school, wanted to be in the medical field, but couldn't get into the medical field. So I relate myself to some of these young people also who cannot realize their dreams. So like I said, my journey has been a moment of finding answers until after joining this microfinance organization, wherein I work and providing loan for women. Still, that didn't answer my question, because the women, initially when I joined, I thought that was the way, because, you give them loan, they go and work and pay when the time is due. But along the line, I get to see the struggle that these women go through to pay that loan. And still my question wasn't answered. So when I happened to join the Women Leadership Program in 2017, organized by Better Future, a group from the Netherlands, where we brought in some women from the Netherlands and some women from the Gambia to ideate the BOSS principle. That's when I said, okay, this is the way. This is where it is. And honestly, from 2017, 2018 to date, I've seen a lot, and I've also connected with a lot of people. I think I've found the answer to my questions. Why poverty is escalating? Why can these young people pay their school fee, despite the fact that they're very hardworking? And the simple answer is saving. We need to save, we need to plan better.
Yeah. Right, impressive. So it's beautiful. I remember where back in the days when you're doing youth work, and I can obviously relate why you're so passionate about working with women and changing their lives. Through some of the things that you provided for these women to really learn from these things. Yeah. So how has that been fulfilling for you personally?
Yes. before coming to that, like I said, once we engage with the women, we encourage them to set up personal goals that they will work toward achieving.
Yeah.
And many amongst them will be, I want to pay my children's school fee. I want to send my, I want to send my child to university, or I want to pay just to take care of the family. So these are plans and simple steps that women can take to be able to realize their dreams. And how that has touched me is that, like I said, I wanted to be in the medical field, but I always say, I think I'm in the right field in the sense that it takes a lot for you to say someone is sick. So being not healthy doesn't only mean that, like, maybe you have a malaria or you have a high blood, but what causes that? There are always factors up behind. So stress, being there, not able to realize you have a lot of, big ambitions, big dreams for your family, but you cannot do them because you don't have proper savings, or your business is not working well. So laying this foundation for women has helped, and it's a job that I can easily relate to with the women, and I find it so fulfilling.
That's
I'm
important.
always supercharged when I'm with the women in the communities. Like I say, it's my stress relieving point. So, and likewise, my other, even my colleagues at work, it's super challenging, but it's fulfilling. It's fulfilling.
Yeah, that's the word, fulfilling. You've got to enjoy what you're doing, and then have the satisfaction that you're fulfilled in doing what you do. I'll hand you over to my co-host Mbakadi to actually take it from there. Thank you for that wonderful insight into what you do and why you do it.
Yeah, I mean that word, Lamin, fulfilling. I think that sums it all up, Fatou, to be honest, because then you feel like you're adding value, your purpose in life. You're like, okay, I know what my purpose in life is. I know you keep saying that to me all the time, but so would you say that leadership program that you attended was a career defining moment for you?
It is. It is, because
Oh, wow.
it came in a time when I already had plans to change, because at some point I'm like, I'm not doing the right thing. Giving loan to these women, at some point feel like harassing them to pay. So I was like, okay, I need to change. Maybe I become a business and become a businesswoman, engage in something different. So this became a shift for me, and a positive one for that matter.
Oh, wow. A big mindset shift. That's amazing. So outside of family, forget about family. I know you had all your family support, all the friend support and all that. But then outside of that, did you have any mentors that sort of like guided you or influenced you to help and shape your journey throughout the way, apart from family members? I'm talking about family members, like mentors outside of family and friends.
That's true. And when I reach this part, I feel a trigger.
Oh,
because time is important, and having someone who will give you their time at any moment, like you don't need to fix an appointment, you don't need to, hey, can we have this talk? Person is always out there. And I wouldn't hesitate to mention name. One person called Sidi Ebinjai.
Oh, wow.
It's someone that that has ever been there, always been there.
Wow.
Yeah. So these are people that, to make certain decisions apart from family, you reach out to them, they'll tell you, they will genuinely discuss, they'll genuinely give you ideas without expecting anything.
Oh, that's amazing.
Lamin, not because she's in the show, but Kaddy Jammeh is also someone whom, we can discuss about and has been a mentor. She's a friend. She's a friend. She's a mentor. She's a sister. There are some people, even when you think of their names, it sends some goosebumps into your system. And I have them. And one is here hosting us today. Wow. We have CD.
I never knew that, Fatou. I never knew that. Wow.
I didn't want to mention it, but I cannot. I cannot, because I cannot think of someone else without mentioning her name.
By the way, I didn't pay her to say this. Okay.
Are you sure?
No, but it's the honest truth. I couldn't hide it, because that's why it's just a coincidence she's doing this program, but it's been a long journey. So any other step you want to take, she's someone who I'll also discuss with. Because my circle is small. I don't have a big circle. So that being, I cannot mention someone else outside. If you say outside family, you know, these are the two people.
Oh, wow, I'm touched and I'm honored. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. This is great. Thank you.
It is. It is. And that actually takes me into the next question that we have for you, which is what kind of friends do you keep around you? Because when you ask some people would say that they have, like, let's say, 3 friend circle or 2 friend group circle. Like some would say, oh, I've got only 1 friend group circle. So what kind of women or what kind of friends do you keep around you, Fatou?
Someone who brings in authenticity and excitement into every interaction. Someone who is kind and diverse in thoughts, and also will give you balanced view of everything that you discuss, and also you feel safe. You know, having a safe space is key, and when you find that in someone, you keep them.
That's important. Yeah. That is definitely important. Yeah, thank you. Just to say to our audience, if there's any burning questions that you wanted to ask Fatou, drop it in the comments box, and yeah, within reason, we will ask her. All right then, Lamin, do you wanna take on the next one?
Yeah, so I wanted to actually expand on that, because I believe that, like I said, I always refer to this program, this show, the profile. We want to profile people that we believe in the community. You know, they've made impact. But then Rome was never built in one day. You know, if you see somebody like Fatou doing what she's doing with these women, how did it start? You know, you have to have a level of discipline, focus, and determination to get to where you wanted to get to. And that includes having the right friends. You know, you mentioned the circle, the friends that you keep. That is key, because our youngsters out there probably could go off the road because of the type of friends, the type of circle that they have. How critical it is that growing up in your journey, not just education but career-wise, how important it is to keep the type of friends that you think bring value to you, and also would maybe add something to what you're trying to achieve. How critical is that for our young listeners out there, Fatou?
They will say, show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. And I think these are sayings that we've had our parents and a lot of people talking about. And I believe in that, because at some point, like when we say mentor, when you hear someone saying you need a mentor, it is at the point where you need to make critical decisions around your life, your career, and a lot more. So what they say to you at that time is very important. And how you take it, because that transforms you, that shapes you, and it brings your identity. So, like I said, my circle is small. If you know Fatou, I'm not the person who is always out there. But when I hold on to someone, when I hold on to something, it's for the forever type. So to make such a decision, you need to be careful. You need to be open, and you need to be loyal, because it's reciprocal. That's the same thing you also give back. So I always say, it doesn't mean, like, even my kids, when we are talking, they'll be like, okay, my friend, so I'll listen to my friend, then I'll tell them. A friend can be only one. You know, you have colleagues, you have people that you can share some things with, but a friend can be only one. And you need to be able to identify and define that person. You need to find that in someone. So, that's what I can say to young people.
That's valuable. Thank you very
Especially
much.
in this social media era, where everything is online. People are posting. Everybody. The moment you see a like, you have to be careful. You need to think outside the box. You need to take your time, and know what you should share and what not. But at the end of the day, you all need to create that safe space for each other.
Yeah. So yes, still on that. In your teens, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, we all gone through that. I mean, you're in that age where you just want to be wild, go out and do stuff, and then later you regret why you did it. What is the one thing that you basically regret not doing in your 20s, 18, 19, 20s? what's one thing you're like, you know what, I wish I'd done that when I was 18, 19, 20. Can you think of one thing?
Huh. Wow. If it had twisted, it would have been easier.
I want to make it hard.
Huh. Okay. I've thought about this question a while now, and what I would say is learning a hard skill. Is it a hard skill? Not the soft skill, like coming and talk, but learn a hard skill. I remember like tailoring is one thing I would have loved to do, know how to sew, design. So that's one thing I regret not learning alongside when I was pursuing my, career path. I think I should have created some time to learn those hard skills, because at the end of the day, these are things that you will need. Yeah. I think that's one thing that I regret not learning.
Right. Okay. Okay. So that, do you still regret that, or do you think that it's a regret that you're able to live with?
Yeah, I'm able to live with it, but I loved it because I would have been able to inspire more young people also to get into, not just focusing on the soft part.
Yeah.
But also it's good to learn some hard skills that you can use in your home.
Yeah.
Especially as a woman. When it comes to food processing and a lot more. So not just focusing on the academics, but also some skills that can add value to your everyday life. That will also make you the business person you want to be. I had opportunities, to have a mini tailor, but like not just giving it out to someone, but you managing it and understanding how it goes. So I think learning some hard skills are very important.
That's very, very insightful. Thank you very much. I'm going to now flick you over to Mbakadi, who is going to ask you another question. Hopefully, that question will not be so as much as difficult as mine was. Thank you.
Well, let's see how this is going to work. Thanks, Lamin. So Lamin asked you, what is one thing that you regret not doing in your 20s? So what is one thing that you cared so much about back then? Yeah, we're going back again, memory lane in your 20s, that you don't care about anymore. You're not bothered about it anymore.
One thing that I'm not worried about anymore.
Yeah, which you used to be worried about so much in your 20s.
Yeah, I think is one of the thing is the what I wanted to be. Like I said, growing up, I always have this saying that I want to be a nurse, in school, I want to be in the science field. But then destiny changed my path.
Yeah.
Instead of having the opportunity to study science, I was in the arts field.
Yeah.
But then I think life was shaping me to be who I am today. And like I said, instead of having been in the hospital taking care of the sick, and here my work is now allowing me to be able to, lessen that, make that, to support the woman mentally, providing them that guidance, that support, so that they take good care of themselves, like their mental health, their family well-being, their saving, because everything is centered around their financial savings. So if they're able to take proper care of that, I think it will reduce a lot of possible ailments that could have affected them. So I think the idea of I wanted to be a doctor, I wanted to be a doctor, being in the hospital, is something that I don't care about much anymore. And it has also allowed me not to, force my kids to say, no, this is what you need to study. So I just allow, life to take its course whilst working on best values, good values, being a good person, and then you get to where you want to be.
Right. Okay. So not too focused on what you want, like when you're in your 20s, not too focused on what you really want out of life, but just to be flexible and see how your life's going to turn out. I think that's really, really, really good actually. Yeah. Yeah. And if I flip that over to Lamin, what about you? You wasn't
Well,
expecting that, were
I'm
you?
curious.
I wasn't actually, no. But I think I'll give that a pass because obviously, I'm a host here. I think the focus should be on Fatu. She's the one that inspires all of us. I mean, I haven't actually done anything, so I think Fatu is in the hot seat. But Fatu, because of that, I'm gonna ask you one question. What
Uh-huh.
is one thing that all your friends would agree about you without any hesitation?
I
That's a
think I'm
difficult one, isn't
trustworthy
it?
and I'm content. And I'm content and a content person and I'm trustworthy.
I
Okay,
agree with that.
so Mbakadi, would you attest to that since you're
Yes,
very good friends with
yes,
yeah.
yes,
Okay.
without hesitation. Yes, without hesitation. And she's always there. She's always there as well. Whenever you need her, she's always there. So I think that's really key. In
That's
this
great.
day and age, like we all busy. We all have very busy schedule. But then when you have a friend like who's always there
Yeah.
when you need them, time is value. Come on, time is very, very precious. So when we create that space, that time for our friends,
Mm,
yeah, I'm grateful.
that's great.
I
That's
call them the all-in-one companions.
great. But very small
Circle.
circle,
Yeah.
very small,
Mm-hmm.
very useful circle that you have. I think it's
Yeah.
more like quality rather than quantity in
Exactly.
terms of friends. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Over to you, Mbakadi.
Yeah. So we thought we'll throw in like a surprise question. Actually, do not panic. It's not gonna be hard. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Let me grab some water.
Yeah, you can drink. You can drink some water. Like I said, I'm sure you'll be fine anyway. So
I trust that.
good. So if you had a song like we all get attached to like songs, like music songs, like we all have our favorite songs. What's one song that if you enter a room you start dancing to straight away? What's your best tune that you would dance to without hesitation? No matter who's watching you, who's looking at you, like wherever you are, like you just have to stop and dance to it.
Yeah, I think kids in the 2020, they would not know this one. I'm a survivor. I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Destiny's Child.
I like
Is
that.
that a Beyonce song?
No.
See
Destiny's
that
Child.
who? Oh, Destiny's Child. Okay, okay.
And
Yeah,
then the other
I
one,
was too
all
young.
ladies independent, raise your hands up at me.
Oh my God,
Wow.
bring the tune back. Bring the tunes back. Yeah, I like that.
So these are songs I can really relate to and, just get on my heels.
Oh, nice. I still love them tunes, you know. Sometimes when they come up, you just dance to it. They're so easy to dance to as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, great. Oh, cool. Oh, wow. Look, Lamin's laughing. What, you want to share yours with us? Or we keeping that on the wraps?
Well, I like Frankie Paul. I don't know whether both of you are old enough to remember
Which of the songs?
Frankie Paul.
Which of the
Frankie
songs?
Paul. Eh?
Which of the songs?
Ooh, well, actually, I'm so bad at singing.
Oh.
So really, so there's a song that I used to like. He was singing Sukuta people. He came to Gambia and then he played in Sukuta. Sukuta people say Frankie Paul. That's all I remember from that song. But yeah, I like Frankie Paul. I'm not gonna sing the songs, but yeah, I like Frankie Paul.
It's all right. If you want to sing, you can sing. No judgment here. No
I'm
judgment.
terrible. I am so bad at singing, so I'm never gonna try.
But you know the song title, right?
I don't.
No.
All right, okay. I think we're gonna let that one go, Lamin.
You
I
try to
would love
put
to
me
hear
in a
from
spot here.
Kaddy.
Right?
I would love to hear from Kaddy which of the
So
songs.
what about you, Kaddy? Because I know you like music.
I do like music. I'll dance to anything R&B. I'm an R&B lover, so I'm an Usher fan. Any Usher song, give it to me, I'll dance. Like I just love it. Yeah, I'm R&B old tunes. Bring back the old tunes. That R&B throwback. So yeah. And yeah, don't worry, I'm not gonna sing because I'm like Lamin, terrible. My singing, I've got no singing voice actually. So yeah. Oh.
That's great. That's great. That's great. Yeah. So that's a bit of a fun there. But yeah. So going back to really Fatou, this show is all about inspiring. Knowing about our guests. What they've done. What is their vision. In the career path that they're taking. What can we expect from Fatou? We've seen you from 2-3 years ago. What you're doing with those women and where you are now, all the plans that you have for this man. What is the vision? Where are you gonna be? Let's say in 5 years' time.
Career-wise?
Yeah, career, wise and
Personal?
personal level as well. Yeah.
Like talking about independent woman by Destiny's Child, we're not kids anymore. So, getting close to, but yeah, like I said, if you look at where we are right now, we're shifting the core of what we do to having women becoming community anchors, where we'll train them to train other women. So once you're able to create that movement, it means you also creating more Fatous and more of our trainers and more Yarohis in the communities. So it doesn't have to be, centered all within the West Coast here. But even when you go to Basse, Brikamba, anywhere you go, you'll see someone similar to Fatou. So what we're doing now is we're piloting with 5 communities, 5 women from 5 different communities. We're going to conduct a train of trainers for them. And we train them all these modules. By the way, our training modules are all in local languages. So we'll train them on the module, also train them on, presentation skills, how to be a good facilitator. And then we deploy them to communities and see how they deliver these trainings down to their communities. We want to give it to everyone. We want to make it accessible to everyone. Because one thing we've seen is savings is important in a person's life. Once able to save, when you are financially independent, it solves a lot of issues in the marital homes. So once we are able to create that, we have that women movement. And then, so now Fatou will be out there, maybe we'll be, going across other African countries to see how this could be replicated. So in 5-6 years, maybe I'll be on my own, doing my own business while this movement continues with the rest of the women out there. And we'll be having different programs, not be on training, but adding value to the lives of women. Like I said earlier on, we supported 5 communities with some grant that will help them, that is helping them start community chess businesses. So we're going to have more women communities also access this kind of support so that they can establish their own businesses. So while we have still local women teaching those women how to do this, you still have women growing their businesses, growing their savings, being more financially independent. And then we have that big, we create a women movement wherein women become unstoppable when it comes to change.
Right.
And they will not be no longer be, women that will be clapping for politicians when they get in the rallies.
Absolutely. Because
we want to change the mindset.
Absolutely, because I think that's critical. That women, historically, what we know when it comes to politicking, women would outnumber men, in following these politicians, singing, doing everywhere, going everywhere with them. But then at the end of the day, when these politicians get into offices, the women are forgotten. So you guys changing that narrative, trying to change that narrative where women will have in their own right things to do, that really they are looking at building themselves and their families. So I think that's critical. So how do you actually get these women to come on board, bus women in the Gambia? What so a woman in Gunjur say, how does he get involved with you? What are some of the things that you do to get them to be involved in what you guys are doing?
Like how do we mobilize them, you mean?
Yeah.
Now it's easy, different from 2017, 18 when we started. It's easy. So we have this WhatsApp group. Every woman trained, they identify an anchor woman. Right. So that anchor woman become part of a WhatsApp group. So in those WhatsApp group, like even this program, it's shared there. So we share everything. So now is the women mobilizing another woman to join. So now mobilization is not a challenge. Like I said, the challenge we have now is funding to go to where we want to be. But to get women to come out to attend the training or to, access some of our programs is not a challenge at all.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Thank you very much for that insight. Over to you, co-host Mbakadi.
Right. Okay. So you'll be pleased to know that we haven't got any more questions for you. That would be such a relief, I guess. So, yeah, it's been such a pleasure having you here, Fatou, and reminding us of how, the stuff that you're doing in the Gambia for women, touching the different lives and making change every single day. Financial independence is one thing that if a woman has, it changes your whole life. And that's something that you are doing every single day, you and your team. So very well done on that one. So yeah, thanks for being you. Any last words from you, Fatou? Any call to action that you wanted to just shout out here for our viewers tonight?
If you want to make an impact in the lives of women, Boss Women Gambia is here to make that happen. Women are there, women are hardworking, strong women, powerful women who really want to impact their lives and families. We have our office at OIC, we have our office opposite Nema Junction, OIC Highway in Sukuta. You can visit to learn, to understand, to get the work we do. And our website is out there, www.bosswomen/gambia.org. You can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook, on LinkedIn to see our work. Travel the journey with us, because this is a journey less travel, but it's an enjoyable journey.
It is.
We thank you for watching. Yeah.
It is indeed. Like Fatou said, if you want to adopt a women community or community in Gambia, please do so. Fatou's organization link will be shared in the on our online TV show. So in case anyone's interested, you'll be able to visit their website as well to see the amazing work that these people are doing, Fatou and the team are doing on the ground in the Gambia. Yeah, to our viewers, thank you for joining us. Follow, like, share. If you like what we do here, subscribe, yes, so you can get notification for our next show next month. Yeah, like my co-host said at the beginning of the show, so the profile show is here to stay, and it's once a month episode. We bring people onto the show to understand who they are, the person behind the profile, basically. So if there's any person that you think that is a game changer in the community and you want us to bring them onto the show, please let us know and contact us via Gwinjur Online TV and let us know. We will make our best efforts to get them onto the show. Yeah, so until next time, from all of us here, thank you from the Profile Show. Take care and keep being unapologetically you. Co-host, I think that's a wrap.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you've been absolutely fantastic. And thank you very much to Fatou, who's been a fantastic guest in episode 2 of the Profile Show with Lamin and Kaddy. We hope to bring you this episode once a month. Another Watch This Space will announce in due course who our next guest going to be in June. I'd like to thank you, my co-host, Bakadi, for really coming on and supporting this show and making it really interesting. And to Fatou, thank you very much for taking your time despite your busy schedule. We know you're an awesome mother, a wife, a career woman, but you still managed to spare us 1 hour to come and share your experience with us. The Profile Show is all about trying to inspire the younger generation. So if Fatou can be where she is, obviously it didn't fall off the sky. She actually put a lot of hard work in it, a lot of discipline, a lot of determination, focus to be where she is. And she's making a lot of impact in the community We want thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of Fatus coming into, making a big difference in the lives of our people. Hopefully with that, we can actually, have a meaningful life. So on that note, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. Obviously being with us throughout this journey. We made it quite fun. I hope you enjoyed it. So until we come your way again, thank you very much. This is Lamin and Kaddy, your host for the Profile Show, and our guest today was Fatou Touray-Cham, who is country director of Bus Women. I hope the viewers will take something away from this and maybe in their own way make some changes in the community. So thank you very much. Have a lovely evening. Bye.
Thank you.